Put a little bit of the rub, nigga, I gotta be safe.
Let's get to the sports talk.
A retard, end quote, who was critical of his play. Jenkins did apologize, but later said the usage of the word was slang and just a part of my culture. Giants coach Pat Shurmur said in a statement today that Jenkins' refusal to admit what he did was wrong led to his dismissal. Max, what's your reaction to this?
I mean, I thought an appropriate response from the Giants would have been, it's politically incorrect to use that. It used to be a medical classification, but it became perceived as derogatory, and it's politically incorrect to do that.
Yes.
And you're also insulting the fan. You're representing the Giants organization. Go do some community work in a hospital that specializes in helping, or a place that specializes in helping people who are challenged in that way. At any rate, I thought that would be appropriate. They cut him. They cut him. And normally you'd say, boy, that shows you signs that there's a good culture there. But actually, the fact that he refused to stand down tells me that this whole thing is a sign that there's a bad culture there. And that whole kind of reflexively conservative New York football Giants mentality that Gettleman is supposed to represent, we haven't seen that reflected in the team, really. And it starts at the top. Gettleman, Shurmur, why is he so happy to leave?
Let me piggyback off of what you're saying.
It's a simple fact is, people use that word for where I'm from. They use that in the slang, like, if somebody say something crazy, they just say that. But at the same time, when you at a certain level in your career, you can't do these type of things, because it can come back and bite you. And it came back and bit him. Got him cut from the team. It's like you can't say certain things because it's a slang that we use from where I'm from. You can't do that now because you at a point in your career that you making, tons of money like you ain't make never in your life. It's at the same time, you can't make that false move. That one false move could always hurt you at the end. You gotta watch what you say, because you say something and it's gonna get leaked out into the public. And then this will happen when you make that false move. It can hurt you in your career. But a team will still give you that opportunity because of what you did on the field. But at the same time, you can't make that same mistake when you get another opportunity with another team. You just gotta watch what you say. Anything you do can always hurt you in this league.
And to take this to another level. We're sitting here, we just heard about it. We don't cover the Giants, so we don't know. This is just my opinion, obviously. I think the Giants are lying. And I'm going to tell you why. He did initially apologize because he recognized that it was insensitive. So why would he make a big deal out of it now? Think about it for a second here. You used an inappropriate, apolitical, correct word, okay? Folks make mistakes all the time. We're human beings. He's a human being. Okay, you apologize. It was for a fan that was, jabbing at you. You reacted inappropriately. Who would have a problem with apologizing for it, especially?
And that's another thing the NFL need to get contained. These fans say a lot of things to these players, and they try to have thick skin and not say too much to them. They try to hold it in, but this time he can't hold it in. When you keep stabbing at a person every time, they gonna let y'all say the things they really don't mean. He probably ain't want to say that, but it came out because of that person said some things to him that he didn't like. Nobody addressing that. What did that fan say to him for him to say this? Because these fans be thinking these players are not human beings and they get to say what they want because they fans. You can't say what you want to a person. Yeah, he should have watched what he said because the point the career he at. But at the same time, you can't keep staring at a person so much. The person can take so much. The NFL players are still human beings at the end of the day.
He says he initially did. Somewhere along the way, what are you talking about? If you're Pat Shermer, Jenkins' refusal to admit he was wrong. If he apologized, what was the conversation about? What conversation? Think about that for a second. You spoke inappropriately, off the cuff, reacting to a fan. Why do you need to have further conversation about it with the coach unless it's about something more than that? The reality of the situation is clear. What Jenkins, in my opinion, probably had a problem with is, who the hell are you to lecture me? To me, it was an excuse to have that kind of confrontation. Jenkins clearly doesn't have much respect because I promise you, if it was Bill Belichick or somebody else that said, let's move past this, apologize and move on. I don't think, we've met him. He's been on this show a couple of times.
Jack Rabbit.
He does not strike me as the kind of person that would have a problem with saying, look, man, I shouldn't have used that word. I apologize. That's that. He doesn't strike me as that person. So to me, it's more about his problem with Shermer. It's more about his problem with the Giants than it is about this incident. And why would he have a problem with them? Could it be because you lost 9 straight? Could it be because you're 2-11? Could it be because you absolutely, positively stink?
He probably did want to get out of there. He ain't mad about getting cut by the Giants. He ain't mad. The team ain't going nowhere no time soon. He ain't mad about that. That this team let him go. If it was a winning team, he probably would have been mad, but it's not a winning team. He not mad about it. There's so many issues in New York that need to be addressed, and they ain't gonna really address it. For one, it's the head coach as well. That position need to be addressed as well. What direction they trying to go? He wasn't upset that they cut him. Yes, he used a word he should have never used. That they could hear. But at the same time, he wasn't mad about them letting him walk from the team, cut him from the team. There's so many problems surrounding that team that need to be addressed. When they gonna do it?
As an organization right now, your GM's on his way out the door. He should be. The coach damn sure is on his way out the door. Okay, some of the decisions that have been made, some of the bodies that have gone out the door, the trading of Odell Beckham Jr., which wasn't a popular move by a lot of those players with inside that locker room, etc., etc. You see some of the things that have transpired within the Giants organization, and what you're saying is, wait a minute, the word was inappropriate. All right, I apologize for that. But beyond that, I'm supposed to take lectures from you?
Well, and also as an organization. It may just be a good excuse to get rid of a player that they want to get rid of.
That's what I'm saying.
They're moving players out the door they think are bad for the culture, but maybe they want to look at themselves in terms of the culture
That's what teams do. They move away from players they don't want no more. So if he did something like he did right now is our opportunity to let that player go. That's the same thing with OBJ. They wait until you do something. They been wanting to trade you. They been wanting to release you. They just need an excuse to release you. They just now putting this out because they want to say we cut him because of this. No, they been wanting to let him go all along. Say he bad for the culture. No. It's other issue on that team that's bad for y'all culture.
Being said, the front office and the coach, because the players don't seem happy. And
why should they be?
And you can point to Odell and say, well, he also doesn't appear to be that happy in Cleveland. You could also say, why should he be? Maybe that's one of the reasons he got moved to Cleveland, right? But it's more than just this idea. Any malcontent or anyone that doesn't fit into these square pegs, we're going to ship out. And they identified what seems to be a talented quarterback, and they have a great running back. But it's more than that. You also got to start winning games at some point.
Max, here's the funny part, right? They speak about a culture as if somehow, some way, they're a gold standard, and they're so far removed from that. And here's the thing. This organization, in terms of that gold standard, was built upon the shoulders of one Lawrence Taylor, okay? Bill Belichick was on that NFL 100 thing, and I love this story, and he was talking about how, Lawrence Taylor, we had this, practice, and, LT, we started about 5 minutes late, and because LT showed up about 5-6 minutes late, he went to Bill Parcells and told him that. He said, Bill Parcells looked at me, and he said, why didn't you start practice 6 minutes late?
That's LT.
That's LT. You see what I'm saying? What I'm saying to you is this. The standard that the Giants pretend to live by, that doesn't embody what your franchise was about. You had some Rough Riders. You had Carl Banks. You had Harry Carson. You had LT in the crew. You had cats that could ball, that showed up and took your heart and did what they needed to do when they won football games. The Giants appear to be more interested in winning headlines and making sure that their culture isn't compromised in whatever way they deem unnecessary or unfavoring to them, as opposed to prioritizing doing what's best for the team to win football games. And you got cats like him that said, I don't want to be here. He probably wanted to get cut.
Everyone gets tired of losing after a while. The team has been losing and losing and losing season after.
And it drains you. At some point, you want to have success. You want to be able to have this team winning games. No one want to keep going to the season knowing they're going to lose. It's too many issues with this team. Like, no one want to keep going into the season like, we still ain't winning yet. Because they don't know what direction they going to themselves. So they gotta have an excuse to let players go and make it seem like they're the reason that we're not doing so good. No. Like I said, everything had to do with your coaching staff, especially your head coach. It's just like, it's too much. It's too much to go year in, year out losing, not making the playoff, watching people play in the playoff for a championship, opportunity for them. You don't want to keep sitting at home watching on TV and seeing them playing and having success, and you at home every year because the team can't get nothing together, and we just keep losing every time this season start up. A team gonna pick him up. A contending team gonna be willing to pick him up because he'll be a great addition to them.
After season, they're tired of it, and Gettleman especially, and also Sherman. He brings in the coach who's had no success at the head coaching level, and like at a certain point, you can say, well, it takes time to establish a culture, and you'll see there's a long-term plan, piece by piece. But I noticed that other teams that rebuild, they don't go through this many years of stinking on ice. Like this, the team is awful, and players don't want to be there.
Last comment: the Giants, since they made the playoffs in 2016. Are 10-35, 3-13, 5-11. They're now 2-11, and they have missed the playoffs 6 of the last 7 years, and it's about to be 7 of the last 8. And you're going to go and publicize the fact that you got rid of a cornerback because he said an inappropriate word. Really? This is not about that. This is about something more than this. The Giants are hiding behind this situation as far as I'm concerned. They look like trash, and they need to change it and put an overhaul in their organization, period. Nothing glosses over that reality.
Good news is if Daniel Jones can just protect the football, I think he's going to be pretty good.
Well, speaking of...